Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. The 144,000 and the elect, meaning the 144,000 are part of the elect. That would, I would say, that's a cabinet which is represented by 12,000 out of each tribe, which adds up to 144,000. Then you have the rest of the elect, which consists of men, women, and children. So I'm going to entitle this video 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. What I mean by that is 2nd Esdras 16, of course, is coming to pass. Now we're in the beginning stages of 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 2nd Esdras chapter 16. Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is now, and Jacob's trouble is going to intensify. So I was watching this video put up by Mr. L. Boyd Reacts. LeBoyd, I guess, L. Boyd, however you say his name, entitled, this is the gentleman right here, entitled Hell's Angels versus Venezuelan Gangs. So you heard about this on certain YouTube pages or whatever platforms you go to. That's what they're talking about, that the Hell's Angels are getting together to confront this Venezuelan gang out in Denver. But like, you have these gangs, according to the news, you know, these gangs in New York and Denver, I believe Texas, and there's a couple other areas. Now the backstory is, you know, when you go back 6 months, 9 months or so, these people came up from down south, deep down south, Latin America. Not Mexicans, but Venezuelans. So they, you know, in order to come to the U.S., you have to go through, you know, Mexico, because Venezuela is south of Mexico. So it's not Mexicans up in here. It's, according to the news, it's Venezuelans, and that they're saying that a lot of these Venezuelans are prisoners, hardened criminals, violent criminals that the government of Venezuela just let out, and they're playing on the fact that America is supposed to take their, you know what it says on the Statue of Liberty, which is a Masonic statue. It was given to the U.S. in New York by the French Orient Masons, not the French government. And they teach you that, well, it was the French. No, it wasn't the French, it was the Masons. Acknowledging that you know, America is a place. This is Babylon. So anyway, so I'm just going to let this play. I'll say a few words. I'm not going to make this long. So this is a video. This is another video. So I muted it, and I put the subtitles, closed captions up, so you can see this guy talking about it. It says okay, but he's delivering just straight facts. Here, guys, why, if these, I believe it's him talking. Let me just let it go. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, it's him talking. Straight facts. Here, guys, but I guess that's what if these ops want to escalate the situation with them. In fact, other chapters from around the country have already issued a public warning. Now, what he said, when you watch this whole video, and this guy starts speaking, he says that there's chapters, more than one chapter of Hell's Angels in Colorado. So they're calling in, the Hell's Angels been around before I was born. And I believe that started, if I'm not mistaken, was men coming back from World War II. Could be World War I. World War I and World War II that fought in wars and battled hardened and so forth. So they, you kind of build that skin like a warrior. You think like a warrior. So the whole concept of the motorcycle MCs, motorcycle gangs, come from former military guys. They have guns. They know the law. They use guns. They kill people. They cut people up. And they're organized. Yeah, I was watching Club Shay Shay, and the guest that was on that show, and I watched it. It came up again. I listened to it again, but this was, I don't know, a couple months ago. You had this guy Godfrey, the comedian, on there, and there's two things that came up I wanted to get on. First thing first, Shannon Sharp. Well, it was Godfrey that brought it up. He said, "Oh, I heard you got a DNA test, and you're supposed to be 99% Nigerian." And Shannon Sharp said, "Yep, it could have been 95, but he said 99%. He said you're pretty much you're Nigerian." So Shannon Sharp would be, according to IUCPK. IUCPK, you got to go back and research. IUIC is correct. When they go out to Africa, Nigeria and other places in Africa, mainly West Africa, they're dealing with Israelites, and there's Hamites mingle among them, but you can tell, the difference between through their spirit, Jake, and an actual Hamite. So IUIC is absolutely correct. We know that Israelites throughout Africa, mainly in West Africa, that's where the slave trade, where they got the bulk of the slaves, and that was the fulfillment of Israelites going into captivity in ships. Obviously, Deuteronomy 28:68. Deuteronomy 28:68 is talking about America. It's not talking about 70 AD when they took Israelite men that were over 17 years old, 17 and above, and they sent them down to Egypt. First of all, if they went from Jerusalem to Egypt, you don't got to get on the boat. You don't get on the boat to go from Jerusalem to Egypt. There's a trade route right across, right on the coast of the Mediterranean. Now remember, Israel, they didn't go to get on boats when they left Egypt. They walked through the part of the Red Sea, which is the Gulf of Suez. And I always say that so if I ask you that, you better know. No, actually the Gulf of Suez. They went into the wilderness of Sin, which is in between the Gulf of Suez and Gulf of Akbar. And then for 40 years, and then Mosai said, "This is enough. I want you to go north." So they went to Jerusalem. They went to Jerusalem, which is land of Canaan. They were instructed to kill them off. Don't take anything from them. Just kill them, burn what they have, burn their houses, just utterly destroy them. And because that was going to be their land. So they had to pass through Edom. So that's a little side story. I just wanted to say that. The Spirit was on me to say that. And I said this before, said this many times. But anyway, coming back to Shannon Sharp, with this interview with Godfrey, he said, yeah, you Nigerian, you straight up Nigerian. He said, you look Nigerian. I'm gonna also say this concerning, Nigerians, Ghanaians, people from Akan and Benin, and even South Africans, because South Africans, the Zulus, broke off from, I believe, either the Bantus, Benin or the Bantus. I believe it was the Bantus. So those were Israelites. Bantus, Benin, Igbo. Matter of fact, he said that Shannon Sharp, they said that he was a Igbo, they say, Igbo. Anyway, the South Africans, the Zulus, are actually Israelites. Shaka Zulu was a famous Israelite. So let me get back into this. And I just want to put that out there. So you gotta rethink this thing, ISUPK. Gotta rethink this. You gotta rethink this thing, Captain Tazariak, Captain Katazak, because IUIC is correct. When they go out there to teach, they are teaching Israel. They know the difference between Israel. We're not totally knocking IUIC, because they on point on a lot of things. We're listening to Bishop General Nathaniel, and he was on point, but he went off point, which he always does, with Daniel chapter 8. And we had went over Daniel chapter 8, which is on Apostle Gabar's video. It was like about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. We went through the whole chapter, Daniel 8. And so we're listening to General Nate, and he reads the last couple of verses where it says he shall come against the prince of princes, but he shall be taken out with our hands. So he said, I checked the commentary, and it says it was talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. He said, but no, they were going off. I mean, it's talking about because Antiochus Epiphanes did not confront the Lord. Yes, he did. He confronted the Lord by confronting the people of Israel. Least happily ye be found to fight against the Most High. So when you come against the apostles, you're actually coming against the Most High. They're just messengers. So you went off on that, man. You went off on that, and your masses will believe you, whatever you say. So if you ask them about that on the street, they're gonna say, nope, it's not Antiochus. It goes deeper than Antiochus. No, it does not. Daniel chapter 8 took place already. No part of Daniel chapter 8 is going to take place now. That's history, as they call it. Anyway, let me get back into this. It says country have already issued a public warning to this Venezuelan. Venezuelan gang, if they don't stop, cease and desist, like immediately. Okay, this guy, he doesn't mince his words. Okay, he basically says, we going to kill you. And the Hell Angels and many other biker gangs, I believe you have affiliate biker gangs with the Hell's Angels, but that's an army. They're all former military, man. A lot of them are not, but the origins of that, go into the history. I saw a documentary or read something about it. It said, don't stop, cease and desist, like immediately. Let this be a lesson to, and we know exactly who's backing this particular gang. We know the backstory. I'm not going to say nothing right now. A lesson to the, that makes me think of the movie. What's the name of that damn movie? Starring the futuristic movie starring Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man. This guy, what was the guy's? Was the guy's name Phoenix? I think the role that Wesley Snipes played was something Phoenix. Simon Phoenix. Simon Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to double check that. Somebody help me out. Anyway, Simon is a Hebrew word meaning affliction heard. And Phoenix is a bird that is destroyed in a fire, but that emerges from the fire. It's a phoenix. A phoenix bird does not exist. Like I said, it's a bird that's destroyed by fire, but comes out of the ashes of the fire. So that's why the character was named Simon Phoenix. Affliction is heard, and now you're gonna rise up out of the dunghill. And when you watch that whole movie, because that movie was put together for the illuminated ones, the ones whose eyes are open. It's telling you in the movie that in the movie, at the end of the movie, come to find out it was the main character, the Edomite dude. I don't know if his name was Quado or whatever, and he had that Israelite Middle Eastern garment on, but it came to find out that he was the one that brought this guy back to life, and they had to get and the police didn't know how to deal with him. They did everything by the book, you know. So that's, look up the word predictive programming. So it says, immediately let this be a lesson to the gang members in Aurora. And by the way, I know about Aurora. I've been out there. I lived out there. I mean, I was back and forth from New York to Denver and Aurora. Aurora is nothing but a suburb of Denver, Colorado. 10 minutes from Colorado, it's a suburb. But now why is there so much coverage on Aurora? I got a question. What does Aurora mean? Give me the backstory of Aurora, and you know that this shit was staged, Aurora. That's why you got to know the Hebrew. Colorado, please heed my warning. I did 10 years in the joint in the state of Kentucky. I'm telling you right now, the people that are coming, known as it says Hell's Angels, are not to be effed with. You are getting ready to have a large swarm of men who are like-minded, brotherhood driven. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to Shannon Sharp interview with Godfrey. Godfrey said he grew up with a guy that was like a drug dealer, Jake, I guess in Chicago. And this guy was so big that he was actually going to China. He was getting shit from China and shit. And he said he met with the warlords of the Triads, which is a major... It's the equivalent to the Illuminati, and they know about the Illuminati, and they said, look, we can kill the leaders of the Illuminati anytime we get. So anyway, the main guy in the Triad, he said to the Jake, he said, you people are amazing. He said, the music, the thing, the culture. He said, everybody around the world follow you. They follow you. They want to be like you. They want to wear their hat backwards. They want to break dance. They want to do hip hop. They want to do this. They want to do that. He said, but you have one problem. You cannot organize. Yeah, because Jake, everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. Now, these Hell's Angels are Edomites, but a lot of them are Jake as well. That look like Edomites. But guess what? They're organized. The government can't break up the Hell's Angels. That's a powerful army. And they got a list of on the the Southern Poverty Law Center. They got a site. What do you call it? A site map, site map, with all the hate groups first of all, we're not even Israelites. Are not, they say Israelites. You got to watch out for them. They're not even on. We're not even on the map. And you go to that map, and it's all patriot, Edomite type groups throughout the whole country. These patriot type Edomites, there's got to be, when you go to groups and you put the various different groups, including the Hells Angels, other motorcycle gangs, it has to be. We're talking maybe 20 million people, and it's scattered throughout the whole United States. So if they wanted to take the Jays out, they can take them out, man. The Jays are not that big. So shit's getting ready to heat up. Like I said, we are in. If you wondering when is Jacob's trouble gonna come, we in the beginnings of Jacob's trouble. I'm a little all over the place. Bear with me. Second Esdras chapter 15, Second Esdras chapter 16 we're experiencing it. There was a video, part of the video I was watching. I watched the whole video put up by the elder out of NC, Manataz Akbar. It was, they opened up with missiles, and you had this Edomite narrating, what different missiles can do, and the Russian missiles, and Satan 2, and this missile, and a hypersonic missile. And in one part of the video, the guy said that the Russians can easily take out the whole United States. They can shoot them, hit them with one missile, which have multiple warheads, and pretty much take out half of America. They said if they wanted to, they can wipe America off the face of the map. So these other countries that possess ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, Mossad don't even need them. He just needs a couple of missiles from Russia, hypersonic, a handful of them, and take out the whole place. That's what the narrator said. He said this. I don't know if it was one missile or a couple of missiles, one missile or a couple of missiles that can just take out. The. Once they're launched, he said you got 30 minutes. Some say 25 minutes. Where you gonna go in 30 minutes? You're gonna be like rats fleeing from a sinking ship. And it's coming. It's coming. You got all these people. Oh, you're not the Israelites. Stop calling yourself Israelites. We're not only are we Israelites, but we're prophets. We represent the elect, hopeful elect. Because if you become disenchanted, I don't give a damn how much work you did. If you become disenchanted before the destruction comes and deliverance, you're not gonna make it. Let's read on. Okay, large swarm of men who are like-minded, brotherhood-driven, which Jake is not, and will not govern themselves by the laws in which that you think that they. In other words, they ain't following what Esau says. That's what is that? Second Esdras 15, and around about the 15th verse or so. Now I'm forced to go to it. Give me a second here. Okay, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. You know what? I'll just quote it. I'm not going to go through it. Let me come back over here. It said, they shall not regard their princes, their kings or princes. It's in 2nd Esdras 15. So he's saying right here, themselves by the laws, govern themselves by the laws in which that you think they're following their own laws. Will you are getting ready to have that you have never experienced in your life. I believe him. People that live on a certain side, certain side of the law may be perceived as whatever, but I promise you this, we know that you're taking advantage of defenseless people. You will be the ones calling the law, police, because you do not want men like me and the people. And meanwhile, this guy is speaking about the Hells Angels as brotherhood. Meanwhile, when Jake dies in the hood, who do they die at the hands of? Another Jake. So Jake is not organized, man. You got the one brother, he looked like one of the Northern Kingdom tribes, and he's calling for, Jakes to come together. But they ain't going to come together. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. So the Hells Angels supposedly have a structure and an order. There's a rank and file. Lord, because you do not want men like me and the people that we associate with to descend upon you, because we will not care about evidence. We will not care about any of that shit. There will be guns, there will be knives, and there will be no more time for questions. So when they come in, you can't surrender. They coming to take shit out. And then who does this go back to? Who's behind them people? Who raised up Simon Phoenix? And I'm going to say this. It's going to get hot come November 6th, November 5th, November 6th. Who's going to be we don't know what's going to happen. They may delay the presidency. Anything can happen. But let's go with this scenario. Let's say Kamala, she becomes it. All hell's going to break loose. All hell's going to break loose. And you're going to have what's called a civil war. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. I'm merely paraphrasing. Somebody can put the scripture up there. So that's a civil war. What's the civil war is going to be between who? The Republicans and the Democrats. Democrats are not about guns. The Republicans have more. They believe in guns. They go to the range. They kill deers and shit. They're going to be looking to slaughter the Democrats. See, the black woman, I'm not even going to call her Israelite. She ain't an Israelite right now. She's getting ready to vote for this woman. And the so-called black man, they said, we ain't with that bitch. So we would rather vote for a Trump. So they see it. So the only ones that don't see it is these liberals and the black woman. So like I said in previous videos, fuck the black woman. You don't need that bitch. She's out of order any fucking way. Yeah, but my mama was black, and your mama ain't shit either. Niggas love to get it. Stop being so motherfucking emotional, man. And you notice the dude said they're attacking defenseless people. All questions, please leave before you force the hand of a power that you do not know the extent of. And I don't know the numbers. Somebody go and give me some numbers as to how many members, how many members are there of this MC gang, this the Hells Angels, and then you have other gangs, motorcycle gangs. They call them clubs. It says extent of how far it reaches. If you try to meet them with any type of resistance, you will die. You will die in the street. Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. All hell should break loose come November 5th, 6th. Who becomes the next president? If that happens, all hell will break loose if they suspended the elections. So we're in September. So we got what, 2 months? It said, die, you will die in the street. They are going to F you up. Now, I don't know about you. This is him talking. Wait a minute. Multiple places, the men scarce. That men scares the life out of me. He does. Oh no, it's this guy speaking. So these Edomites, some of them are Jake. They ready to do something, man. They feel that their homeland, this is founded by their forefathers, that it's being invaded. So they got to go. Hey, what did Gad do? When Esau came over here, what did Gad do? They went into war mode, man. So Esau, this is Esau's country, right? Matter of fact, the scriptures refer to this place as the land of Edom in Isaiah 34. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. I didn't pull out any scriptures, but I quoted a handful of scriptures. So, as these scriptures come out in the video, you can put them up for people to read them. But, hey, you talking about ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble, we going to float into the kingdom? No. Jacob's trouble is pretty much here, and it's going to get worse. It's going to escalate. With that, I'm going to say shalom.